Gemini Jet 747 here, doing the first episode of the How to Build a Model Airport series. So this episode we will be talking about planning your airport, supplies to buy, and things that you need to write down. So to start off, I'll show you my general plan for the airport, for the pieces of wood that I needed to buy to serve as the base. It's a wood base, and I'm going to be gluing paper on top of that, but we'll get into that in a little while. So this table that I have now, the current airport is sitting at, is 5 foot by 9 foot. And usually I'll give it an extra half a foot that it can hang off the table if you have that kind of room. Whatever your table size is, make sure you plan to buy the amount of wood necessary for that sized airport. Usually what you would do is use a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of particle board or MDF. I wouldn't use MDF because it's too heavy, and I definitely would not use plywood because it warps, and when you're gluing paper onto something that can warp, your airport will turn into a mess very quickly. I will probably be using particle board for this because this is in a basement, as you can probably notice by now, and so that would be too heavy to carry down the stairs and whatnot. So this will be using 2 4 foot by 8 foot sheets, this version of the airport. As you can see, those I mapped them out quickly. Make sure you draw everything because drawing is the best way. Don't have anything in your head because it most likely won't work then. Trust me, I've had experience. I've built like 5 or 6 airports. You can see how they're going to be cut into a 2 foot section and a 6 foot section, and those will be placed here and here. And then this dotted line is the underneath of the table. On this, every inch is a foot, and that's on all of my diagrams. That's usually what I do. Then one of the 2 foot sections will be cut in half. Then the bigger, this one here, will be placed here, and then the half of one will be placed here. I will probably lay 2x4s underneath here and here, and then screw them down in, and that will make a solid base for the airport. But I'm going to build it separated so that I can, carry it down here. Because you're definitely not going to want to be gluing and painting, cutting in a not well ventilated area. You're going to need a well ventilated area because we will be using spray adhesive and spray sealer, which I'll get to in a couple minutes. Then what you're going to need to do is find some kind of a foil system. I use the Airport Diorama Designs custom airport foil system. It's really nice. It costs $25, I think, unless they changed the price since I bought it years ago. But there are some free ones. I do recommend this one. This is what this mat is based off of. This is just a finish mat using his foils that he makes this mat, and it's a very expensive mat. This is like a $300 mat. Which served me well. The reason I'm building this airport is to get rid of that unrealistic border. I really hate that. So I want to fill up the table to the edge with foils, which is probably what you'll want to do in your airport. So that's the general plan. Then what you'll want to do is you're going to get that foil file system ready, and you're going to draw out your airport on a sheet of paper. So this airport has 2 runways, as you saw in the last video, in the announcement video. If you didn't watch that, 1 runway here, 1 here, slightly up, so we can have some taxiways. There's some remote stands here and here. Terminal 2 and Terminal 1 are made with Gemini terminals, as you can see right there. It's using that one and that one right there. And then this terminal is the Delta terminal at this current airport, which I built years ago as a model of LAX Terminal 5, I think. Can't remember exactly, but I even took Google Earth images and pasted it to the top. It has windows all down the side, which I may end up spray sealing this as well if I have any left over, but it works very well. So that'll be that terminal. So if you have supplies for an airport before building, definitely try to integrate those into your plans. If you don't, then you build it out of balsa wood and you actually have much more open to your imagination because you're not limited by the size of your current materials. You can build whatever size you want. I wouldn't recommend, however, building a terminal. I've seen some people do this into a corner like that, one down that way, one down that way, because then you lose a lot of space for aircraft. So try to use all of your space. That's my recommendation. If you have hangars, integrate those as well. Those will be there. And I also wanted a small cargo area and had enough room, so I put it there. You can see this has scribbles on it, everything, and yours will have that too. I recommend doing it in pencil, but I didn't have one available when I started drawing this out. This is also every foot is an inch, and it's very roughly drawn. I just took a ruler and generally measured out the area. You're going to want to measure the size of the terminal, and also the most important part is the size with the airplanes. That way you can plan it out much easier. So you can see the terminals here. That's not even the correct size. I don't think I just drew that in afterwards to show you guys. This is the size that the terminal and the aircraft will take up, and that's very important so that you don't run out of room. And then there's another terminal here. That's your general plan. You look at this plan and you get your foils up. Whatever foils you're using, you're going to want to generally, this is also not exact, so you're going to want to generally find the number of which foils you need, and you're going to want to write that down. So, I wrote it down here just now. So, you write down how many you need, how many pages, so you can calculate the number of pages in the end, and the file name on your machine, on your computer. So, here they all are. I've got jet pads, I've got gate numbers. You know, if you're familiar with the airport diorama designs foils, you'll know these. These will look familiar. Use whatever foils you like. Just make sure you plan out about how many you need. Try to print extra, especially print extra taxiway, and definitely print extra grass and blank tarmac, because that's very important. If your foils don't have that, that's very unfortunate, and you're going to have to figure out a way to cut it out of another foil. That's why I really recommend these. This has everything you need to create an airport like this one. Okay? Then, we're going to talk about supplies. So these are some of the supplies you'll need. I hope it focuses perfect. So we're going to be using spray sealer and spray adhesive. I researched for a few hours on which spray adhesive to use, because spray adhesives are usually repositionable forever, or they stick within 3 seconds. And you don't want to have the 3-second stick thing, because chances are you're going to get it wrong, the position of the foil, the first time you put it down. So you're going to want to be able to reposition it for a couple seconds, and you don't want it to stay not dry forever, because then your whole airport will start moving around, which isn't good. So this Tacky Spray by Aline, that's, you know, they have the glues, they have this spray, I just found this. Gives you about 60 seconds to move things around before it dries. And it dries clear, apparently. I haven't tried it, but it has 4.5-star reviews on Amazon, so it seemed like a good choice, and it's pretty cheap, $10. And then you're going to use this Podge. This is what I'm using. You can, of course, try different things. A clear acrylic sealer. I was originally planning on doing a gloss, not a gloss, like a clear spray paint, but I was afraid that the spray paint might eat away the paper or something, because it didn't say, you know, made for paper. And Mod Podge is good for paper. People use it all the time. And it's in a spray can, so it'll be easy. Once you Sorry about that. Once you glue down all your foils, you're going to spray it down with the acrylic sealer, and that will be in a future video. Because we're using these aerosols, especially the spray adhesive, it's very dangerous for your lungs. And of course, half of you won't buy this, but I highly, highly, highly recommend you get a respirator and some safety glasses, because you don't want that glue going into your lungs, because it'll stick and it'll give you health problems. So if you're not going to use safety gear, I definitely don't condone that, and definitely don't do it. So get a respirator, get a respirator, get a respirator, and get safety glasses. I already had some safety glasses, but these look like they seal around your face a little bit better, so they won't fog up as much, and they'll provide some more protection for the aerosols, which is good. And of course, you're going to need a printer, because this is 155 pages of foils Plus, we're going to need some blank tarmac, and we're going to need the roads to put in. I'm not doing that yet because I don't know how that'll fit in. These I know will all fit in, or I'll have extra. So only print the things that you're going to need to start. You can always print more later. I do this because maybe you want to print it at Staples Print Center or something. I just did a little research, and it's going to cost about $64 to print 155 color pages on normal paper at Staples or whatever. That's probably around the same price everywhere. And then for a printer I have at home, with cardstock, it'll be about, $45 or not even, $50 to print. And this is actually a 2-pack, so it might be even less. But this can print about 164 pages, apparently. It's good to get extra because you're probably going to run out. I've had this experience before, and it's not good at all. So those are your supplies. You have your plan. First step, plan it out. Actually, first step, plan what kind of wood you're going to use and plan out the size of the airport. Second step, plan out your airport. I make different copies of these squares around the edge, and then I just fill it in with different ideas. And then I come to a final answer. That's what you should do. Then find out how many foils you're going to need and what they are. And finally, order your supplies. Order everything except the wood online. It's usually cheaper, except for the mask. I might go buy that at Home Depot because that's pretty expensive. For a medium, it's $30. So, and I don't even know what size I am, so I'm going to go buy the respirator at Home Depot. Everything else, order it online. It's probably going to be cheaper. And then go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Sears, whatever you want to get the wood and get it cut down there. Usually they'll do it. I know they do it at Home Depot. For this one, I'm shaving off 2 feet each one and cutting one of those in half. It's pretty easy to tell the guy who's cutting the wood. If you're just going to use one sheet of wood, then that's easy enough. You just go, pick it up, put it in your car, and there you go. So that is episode 1 of how to build a model airport. I'll see you guys in the next one, and hopefully it'll be soon. I don't think it will be because I have to buy all these supplies and print all this out. So that's going to take a while. So homework for you guys. Print out your foils. Get the wood, get the supplies. Build the... And don't put the wood together if you have different pieces. You can build it separately and put it together as a final assembly. Print your foils. Get them ready. Next episode will be adhering your foils to the board and preparing the airport. See you guys in the next one. Comment, rate, subscribe.